Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'm reading introduction, page number 11. When we are materially contaminated, we are called conditioned. False consciousness is exhibited under the impression that I am a product of material nature, which is called false ego. One who is absorbed in the thought of bodily conceptions cannot understand his situation. Bhagavad Gita was spoken to liberate one from the bodily conception of life. And Arjuna put himself in the position in order to receive this information from the Lord. One must become free from the bodily conception of life. That is a preliminary activity for the transcendentalist. One who wants to become free, who wants to become liberated, must first of all learn that he is not this material body. Mukti or liberation means freedom from material consciousness. In Srimad Bhagavatam also the definition of liberation is given. Muktir hitvana hitvanyataropam स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थिति मुक्ति हित्यन्यता रूपम स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थिति. Mukti means liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world and situation in pure consciousness. All the instructions of Bhagavad Gita are intended to awaken this pure consciousness, and therefore we find at the last stage of Gita's instructions that Krishna is asking Arjuna whether he is now in a purified, whether he is now in the purified consciousness. Purified consciousness means acting in accordance with the instructions of the Lord. This is the whole sum and substance of purified consciousness. Consciousness is already there because we are part and parcel of the Lord. But for us, there is the affinity. But for us, there is the affinity of being affected by the inferior mode. But the Lord, being the Supreme, is never affected. That is the difference between the Supreme Lord and the small individual souls. What is this consciousness? They discuss this. This is a separate topic. So we'll try to discuss this. अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकधामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव श्री गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं तत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो तारिणम्. हरे कृष्ण. This entire material world is actually going through this. Entire material world is going through this. What is that? Bodily conception. Wherever we go, that is what we see. If you see an advertisement which comes in the between videos, if you see the advertisement, most of the advertisements are related to this. How does one earn money? How does one study the advanced technologies which we have. How does one cope up in this particular world? Upbeat, trying to do as per the world is doing, is or is going through, trying to improve the standard of living. Now, devotees also they take care of their health. But the devotee is always living the pleasure of the Lord only. So he doesn't live for any other endeavor. He only lives for that. He has no goal. But when the Lord is absent in one's consciousness, then this phenomena of bodily consumption arises. Because I'll tell something. Let's say if there's a child, this child is trying to walk, trying to crawl. First, when the child comes into this world, it will see the mother, father trying to develop a relationship with them. This is new actually. That's the first time the child is seeing that. Because the soul in the previous life did not see that particular person. It means the first time they're establishing a relation. And everybody will tell, he's your mother. And everybody tell, this is your name. Everybody would tell, you're a boy, you're a girl. What is that child doing? He's trying to learn few things in this world. If you closely observe, the child's state of consciousness or the limitations which he have is very limited when he is very small. The moment he begins to crawl. Up until that point of time, before crawling, he was aspiring to crawl. Then after crawling, he's not aspiring to crawling anymore. He's aspiring to get up. After getting up, he's not aspiring to just walk. After getting up, he's aspiring to run. After run, that was he was doing in the vicinity of the home. When he grows little older, he wanted to go around the neighborhood. Parents will take them to the beach. This is all evolution. They're actually teaching everything they're learning when they're growing. That means initially, when they were when we were born, our understanding was very limited. But slowly, through meeting different people, we get to know what is right, what is wrong. We also experience what is right, what is wrong. So the same child, the limit is extended. Please understand how this false conception and bodily consciousness would actually work on this. So when the boy is grown up, becomes an adult, then what he was aspiring before is not aspiring anymore. See now, when the moment he was born, he was not aspiring to find a girl. Was he aspiring to find a girl? No. When he was a child, he was aspiring to see his mother. When he is grown up, will he aspire to see his mother? No. Very few people would aspire to see their mother out of relation. Most of them wouldn't. That means what is happening with devotees at every moment they are doing something new. Please understand this. When he was crawling, he's no longer aspiring to crawl. When he is walking, he's no longer aspiring to walk. When he is running, he's no longer aspiring to run. because he's learning quickly everything and he's seeing the world. The first time when you take the child outside the home, you'll say, "Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, what is it? Oh, this is a dog." No, you don't get that excitement, but they are seeing it for the first time. They get that excitement. That means, what are they seeing? They're seeing another body. Please understand. So wherever they go, they see the bodies because that is what we can experience through our limited senses. It's very interesting to read about this. A thought will come. Why don't Krishna give a vision directly when we are born so that we can see the soul? Why are we kept in this state? Why don't we see the soul right away after we are born? Why don't we see the soul in the heart? The other person, why don't we see the Paramatma sitting in the other person's heart? Why don't we see that? Why is this covering there? But it is there because when we experience the consciousness, that means the soul is driven through that consciousness only. We can feel, but we cannot see. As we are so much absorbed in this bodily conception, not dear devotee, dear devotees, please don't understand. This is not our problem. Please understand. The only thing which we aspired, which we desired, is to stay away from the Lord. That is the only thing which we did. And that is definitely it is the greatest problem. But for that problem, do we have to go through all of these things? Dhara Mataji was asking this question. What was the question? If one loves the Lord, why is that Lord? Why don't I see the Lord? Actually, the question should be framed in this way. If one loves the Lord out of devotion, what should I do so that the Lord is pleased and then He comes and then manifests Himself, either through a reflection or either through a realization or either through His physical presence or either not through His physical presence. Now, what is sadhaka has to do? So, coming back to this, the previous discussion, that why don't we see the Lord? Why don't we see the soul? Why don't we see the Paramatma? Why don't we see all of these things? Why are we kept in this state? Why are we getting dejected? Why are we getting rejected? Why disease comes? Why old age comes? Do we have to go through all of these things? If you closely observe, dear devotees, the Maya is so powerful. Even this bodily conception, nobody knows that he's in the bodily conception. That is a beauty. Unless and until one really hears deeply, then he will understand. There is bodily conception. Otherwise, even we also don't know that we are in the bodily conception. For example, okay, we're supposed to get up like 3 or 3:30, whatever time, you want, we aspire to get up as per the instructions. We can do it or we don't do it. We can aspire to follow or do not aspire to follow. That's always there. That means we can sleep, not going to Mangalarti, or we can get up, going to Mangalarti, and then getting an opportunity to glorify the spiritual master. Samsara dava nalalidaloka tranaya karunya gana ghanatvam praptasya kalyana gunanavasya vande guru shri charanaravindam. We can do that or we cannot do that. We don't aspire to do that. Even though we hear, still we have our own choice. Please try to understand this. Let's say if a person really wants to follow or try to get out of this bodily conception, do you think that the Maya material nature will easily leave? No. First of all, it will tell don't hear. Second, for example, if some hook or crook if person sincerely hears, then she will tell that's okay. You heard it. You can ignore it. She'll tell that. Let's say if a person still doesn't ignore and then still tries to follow, then she says, are you stupid? Why are you doing like this? You can happily sleep. You can happily chant your rounds later, or you can skip your rounds on this particular day. Who is asking you? Anyhow, you're not seeing Krishna. This she'll tell this also. What are all this? These are actually conversations with the material nature. Even though she's a separated energy, she actually tells or puts us us also in that separated energy. Vidivadina Shakti, which is separated. So it's not part and parcel, no, separated. Now, what is that separated energy? The moment we fall in that separated energy, we would never realize that we are in the bodily conception. Sadhaka will never realize. The sadhaka will always think that, okay, I'm good. I do not have any issue. I can just continue. I can just lead my life in whatever way I want. Sadhaka doesn't understand that. So why don't we see the Atma? Or why don't the child is given that intelligence right away that he is Jivara Swarupa by Krishna and Nityadas the moment he's born? There are reasons for that also. And then why, even if we love the Lord, why don't I see the Lord? That means we should ask this another question. Am I really loving the Lord? Am I really doing with devotion? I'm thinking that I'm doing, but is it really true? Is it authorized? Is my practice which I'm doing, is it authorized in Gita? This is what we need to ask. Now, whoever asks or comes to that plane, then he becomes honest. That is a quality. That is a quality. If a person becomes sincere, his heart will not accept to do a bad thing. Please understand. We are not here. Do I ever, did I ever force you in the classes? No. Through force, things will not manifest. Through relationship, through devotion, things will manifest. See, if through force things would manifest, Krishna would have hit one, one slap here, and then he would have said, "Hey, sit here. What's happening? You don't want to stay with, you don't want to stay? You want to stay in separation of me? One slap he will give, and then he'll say, sit here. He did not do that. He told, he will correct, but he will not force because he is actually feeling that relation. He will never force. And if the Lord is never forcing, who are we to force? Even if we feel sometimes we are forced, it's only out of love, through relation. No, that force is coming out of love. It's not out of hatred or envy. But if you see the Lord, he said, okay, you want to stay in separation of me? Go. So the moment we begin appreciating him, the moment we try to do devotion to him on what we heard from our acharyas, then that is a beginning. What is that? It's a beginning. That is not end. So slowly, slowly that beginning should ripen. For example, Let's say you planted a mango sampling. You added the roots and everything. For the fruits to come, it will take like around 4 years, 5 years to actually get that fruit. That means the farmer has to continuously take care of that mango tree until she's 4 years or 5 years. After that, also, he will take care, but the taking care will be reduced. When she was early, the taking care is more. Just like a child requires more attention when they're small. That is also one of the reasons why Srila Prabhupada said, put deity worship aside, take care of your child. Because it is important, na? They have to be taken care. For example, the child is crying, and I have to do arti. Will the Lord be happy? On one side, child is crying for milk. On the other side, you have to do arti. Or on one side, the child is crying. On the other side, you have to do your rounds. Which priority you give? To the child or to the rounds? As per the acharyas, to the child. Because it requires more attention. The rounds can be done later. That means the priorities, we need to understand what is our priority. Now, the same child, when the child grows, he's actually seeing this world. When he sees the world, he forgets the relationship with the mother, with the father. This is exactly the bodily conception of life. And then he will try to find an opposite party, a girl who is white, who is very soft. Try to take that association and be happy by gratifying the senses. Gets married and have children. Again, he's trying to expand. What is this? This is all false conception. Now, I'll tell why this is all false conception. He's doing everything, and then eventually, the limitation which was extended, now the same limitation is diminished. Now he's 65. His friend will call him. Can you come to program? He says, do you have elevator? Which floor is your apartment? Oh, he says fourth floor. Oh, do you have elevator? No, I do not have elevator. You have to walk through the steps. He says, Baba, I cannot come. Do you have a Zoom link? I'll join through Zoom. So what is happening? Limitation. How is that limitation happening? With this body. So when the limitation or limits are there with this body, we need to understand that this itself, we are not this. Because when we understand that we are something eternal, then when we are connected to this, for example, let's say this body has some disease or some fever. Actually, this fever technically is not that. That doesn't mean that we have to take care of ourselves. To take care of ourselves. And the purpose and intention we need to understand. Now, when I become strong again, I use this opportunity and chance to practice. Now, at one state, the limitation was very limit. Slowly, slowly, the limitations got increased. And at the other stage, the limitation got reduced. And eventually, the same person who began from a room, he will end in a room or in a hospital. That's also a room. If it's a natural death, if it's an accident, we can't do much. When the person goes through a natural process, if he suicides himself, we can't do much because he's going against the principles. The evolution, the conception of bodily absorption is seen through this. But if you actually see another important aspect here, the moment he learned something new, he's not sticking to that. He's going to something else. Please understand this. That is material. That itself is bodily conception. Because that bodily conception is not permanent. For example, if a person doesn't like a woman, he'll give divorce and then get married to another person. That's what happens in the material world, right? Let's say if he has a girlfriend, if he doesn't like her, then he or she will leave him or her and then get another one. Why? Again, bodily conception. Because this bodily conception doesn't give happiness. You see anything in this world. Let's say, for example, you purchased an orange, or you went to your farm. You have an orange farm. You pluck that orange from the fruit, from the tree, and then you kept that orange outside your home. Will the orange stay like that for 10 days? It will change. Why is it changing? Because it is made with earth, water, fire, air, ether, and it has to go in that only. Likewise, this body is also made with that, and we have to go in that only. Just imagine, dear, just understand this, dear devotees. For this body, if there's a problem, we feel so much dejected, so much. Prabhupada says that this is called as bodily conception, and then he says that one should quit this. For example, if a sadhaka realized that he's not this body but a powerful spirit soul, and this soul has an eternal relationship with the Lord, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas and the Acharyas, when he realized that, when there is a defect, when there is an issue with the body, then he is not bewildered. We see so many examples. Haridas Thakur Maharaj, his body was being beaten left to right, 22 marketplaces. He accepted. He accepted. Actually, he was compassionate to all the living entities. You don't know. Karo, Naam Karo, he's telling. You chant Hare Krishna. That will elevate you. Don't follow the words of this person. You just follow what I say. He's actually telling. That means how clear it is. For example, I'll tell something. I say children, 7, 8 years, 5 years, there is a little cut in their finger. They'll show this cut to everyone. You see also cut here, see here, here. They're actually really feeling that pain. Actually really feeling. But the place we are feeling that pain is wrong. Really feeling only. That is real feeling only. Just like we had that same feeling with the Lord, that that Brijavasis, when the Lord is absent, they are also feeling, they are also crying. Just like the child is crying, they are also crying. But this child is crying because of a finger cut, but they are crying for Krishna. The feeling, both sides, the feeling is same. But the situation which it is being kept, that feeling where it is kept, that is incorrect. It's only two things here about it: bodily conception, spiritual consciousness. Bodily conception, free from this bodily conception. Only two things. There's no big things here. Everything is pretty clear. That's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the definition of liberation is given. Mukti hitvanyata karupena vyavasthiti. Liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world and situation in pure consciousness. That means one has to, liberation means not, oh, I will leave this body and then I'll go to Brahma Jyoti. Okay. But how and why that person will go to Brahmajyoti? Will he just go to Brahmajyoti just like that? If you don't desire for that, for example, if you don't desire to go to US, do you just go to US? That you go to airport and then like you go and purchase the ticket and then you go stand in the line. Will they send us? They will ask, show me your passport. If there is no visa, will they send us? They will not send us. Are just for going from India to America, it's not possible. We need to have so many things in the background. Just to get a mere liberation also, person will just get like this. No, one has to be liberated from this bodily conception. And Prabhupada is telling that is a primary thing, that is the first step. I was thinking, if I started telling that I've been practicing since 10 years or 15 years, and if I ask this another question, am I completely free from this bodily conception of life? If that is, then who gave it? Oh, I was not free from the bodily conception before the association of the devotees. But if I am, who gave it? That means if that person gave me, That means for whom I should work? Should work for that person only, na? If I don't work for that person, am I cheating? Yes, I'm cheating. If I don't work for the acharyas, am I cheating? Yes, I'm cheating myself. That means even that bodily conception which I received out of their mercy, if I don't begin working for them, what happens is that bodily conception will once again come into my life. That's a fact. Just like Mother Rukmini was hearing from a sadhu about the glories of the Lord, she did not see him. She was just remembering him. She was trying to know him. She was trying to understand him. She's trying to know, how the Lord is. Just by hearing, she developed intense love and devotion. And out of separation, she says, Krishna, if you do not come, I'll quit my life. And she did not see the Lord also. Please understand. She did not see the Lord. She says that if you don't come, then I'll quit. What is the purpose of this life? No, that deep attachment has to be developed. And that comes through Shravana. It's a very potent process. When we are completely absorbed, for example, if we are doing devotion to the Lord, if you think that we are doing devotion to the Lord, definitely you'll see the reciprocations. If we love the Lord, we'll definitely see the reciprocations. For sure. There's no doubt about it. Krishna is present. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present. Srila Prabhupada is present. Our spiritual masters are present. There is their mercy. We'll be able to see them. We'll be able to experience them. We don't have to do so many things. You have to hear. And when we hear and when we try to apply what we have heard, for example, we were discussing about bodily conception. Now we should aspire to come free, to come out of this bodily concept. That is when you will see the power of material nature. For example, I remember this many years back when I was in the college. We went to a place for kayaking. Went to the place for kayaking. Now that is 2 mile distance. While going, it was easy. But while coming back, it was difficult. Later on, I realized, Arey, why is it while coming back, it is taking more energy because we are streaming against the water stream. We are going against the water stream. Arey, when we begin going against the water stream, that is when we will, that means when we begin going against the principles of this material nature. Because these are not the principles of this material nature. Please understand. The principles of material nature is to gratify our senses. Because she wants to keep us here eternally. She doesn't want to leave us. She wants to keep us in the separated energy. She doesn't want to allow us to stay into the internal energy of the world. She doesn't want to give access because she will only give access if you are free from this bodily conception. Yeah, I might tell so many things, Baba. They're devotees. We can tell so many things. But if our aspiration is not this, and this aspiration also, Prabhupada told us, spiritual master told us, they told us to come out of this bodily conception. Oh, for the happiness of Prabhupada, for the happiness of these Vaishnavas, I will do this. This is how one will actually develop that relation. Because I have to do this, because he told me, na. If I don't do this, will he be happy? For example, you're going to a school, you're going to Harvard school or IIT or MIT, whichever school. Now they give big, big assignments. If we don't do the assignment, do we pass the exam? We don't. Do we get a certificate? We don't. Do we get a job? We don't, because we failed or we were dropped off. Because it was a heavy, difficult subject. Couldn't accept. But if the same thing is applied here, the proper really, see his life also. He was never in this bodily conception. See, pure devotees are not, they're not in this bodily conception. They're free from this. I remember my spiritual master when he has 104 degrees fever, still he was coming and giving the class. They're not. They have realized that they're not this body. He would always tell, what will happen to this? What will happen to this body? Oh, if I leave this body while speaking, that's well and good. What is the problem? Anyhow, this body has to be left. What is the problem? It's well and good. I said, wow, what a consciousness is this? What a consciousness. Aspirations. See, this is what we discussed yesterday, right? One should be tough to oneself and then one should be liberal to the other person. Now we are discussing these tough things. We discuss only these tough things in the class. After the class, oh, Prabhu, everything all right? Oh, awesome, you're great. That's it. Only in the class. Subal Prabhu, everything all right? Oh, Prabhu, everything is good. Oh, perfect. That's it. It's only in the class, only in the discussion. Afterwards, we are friends. It's only in the class we discuss these heavy subject matters. Because I remember my spiritual master is so liberal after the class. So liberal. He's heavy in the class, like Balramji. He has a club. He will shatter the false ego. If the false ego is coming, he'll hit. He'll hit on the head on the false ego. Again if the false ego, again he'll hit on the head. After the class, did you eat prasad? Is everything all right? Is your job good? He'll ask these kind of questions. Questions of a mother. In the class, like a father. This is what Srila Prabhupada also. His life is like that. I remember when Srila Prabhupada came to New Vrindavan, what a wonderful Mataji. Immediately he saw her. And then after seeing her, he noticed that she didn't have enough clothes, especially in the winter. Then he immediately said to the temple president, please give her proper dress. He's not telling at that time, oh, you should be free from this bodily consumption. You're not, you're in Maya. You should not wear proper dress. His proper never said that, oh, you're in Maya. He will tell the principle, but after that, he will give that love. Please understand, everyone is a one state. We cannot say all of a sudden, oh, come to surrender. Yes, yes, you give up everything. You leave your wife, children, everything, can come and do service. No, that's not the right notion. Should stay where we are. Sthane Sthitigatana. Here every day. Should not miss the process of Shravana. Should hear attentively. Just like Rukmini Amma, just like Parikshit Maharaj. They are devotees. Oh, they are hearing actually. I always think about that. These exalted personalities, they have to hear. Are how come this truth is coming to us? This is the causeless mercy. Causeless mercy comes to the unqualified. When we feel that we are the most unqualified, then we will get more knowledge, more intelligence. And that intelligence, when applied, becomes realized. Very important. So this we need to aspire. The moment we feel that I am the product of this material nature, that is a false conception. We are not that, but we are feeling that. And another important aspect I want to tell is when we are focusing on one thing, for example, you're at work. You're actually working. You'll think about what to eat in the afternoon, or you'll think about what's my child doing, or you think about your morning discussion with your husband. That was not good. I shouldn't have spoke like that. I'm hearing every day, but why am I doing like this? What we are at workplace, but what are we doing? We're trying to think something else. Just like a child when he is crawling, he wants to get up and walk. So this is what I noticed today. My daughter Sankirtan Priya, She's crawling, but she wants to get up. That means they're not they're not absorbed in what they are doing. Likewise, it is not her thing. That's how this material nature is designed. Everyone is like that. We cannot concentrate on one aspect because that is a Kali Yuga. That's why the only process which works in Kali Yuga is Shravan Kirtana. Through this only the consciousness is purified. Because even now when we are hearing this, we are thinking about something else. The consciousness might be changed. Some other things might come into our consciousness. We cannot put the focus here. Or we might be doing something else. Because it's difficult, na? It's not easy. Hmm. America is a busy place. It's a busy life. So these things have to be addressed. That means we are thinking the thing which we do not have now. For example, a person is there in a condo, he's living in a condo or a town home. His friend will come to his home. He says, you know what? Recently I went to this community. It's a extended community. Good single family homes. I just purchased it. And he will begin showing the pictures of it. What happened? He came and then he kept that bija into our heart. Now, what happens is when we do not have right association, when we do not have the strength of Shravana, when we do not have good association, what happens is we begin to water that beach. Through that beach, what is happening? A desire is developing. And then you feel that, oh, you know what? I don't know whether interest rates are low or high. I have no clue. Let's say the interest rates are low. Okay, well, the interest rates are low. This is an opportunity. Let's go and buy this. And we can sell this off, sell this home. Then what is happening? Your focus is changed. Dear devotees, this is what is happening in the life. Our focus is not staying at one place. If there's a monkey, if you give something to the monkey, while it is eating that, it will try to get something else. During the eating process only, not after eating. You know how stressful that condition is? Understand when you're trying to focus on one thing, if the mind is going somewhere else, is it a good thing? This comes through bodily conception only. Because the jiva is convinced that I am this. That's why whatever happens to this so-called body, he feels dejected. He feels rejected from this world. That's what happened to Arjuna. He cannot fight what Lord told him to do. Because that bodily conception, the conception of he's there, my family, there, this, there, that is coming in between. No, that is the greatest test for Arjuna. We do not get that kind of test. We'll get test. At least we are coming out of some things of this world. Like sleeping right time, not sleeping more, not sleeping less, not eating more, not eating less, trying to control the tongue, only speak about Krishna, only honor Krishna Prasad. Small, small things. When these small, small things comes into our heart, then slowly, slowly this bodily conception is dissipated. Even though the Lord has created this entire thing, He's not affected with this. He's aloof of all this. For example, if a person has created something, he knows what kind of impact it will bring. So he's not worried that much. Likewise, the Supreme Lord, likewise the Supreme Master, he knows everything about us ins and outs. He's free from all these things. Adokshila. That's why Lord is called as Achyuta. He never falls down. He's always in the transcendental plane. So do his devotees. They are always in the transcendental plane. They don't fall. Then a question will come, then why we fall? That is our desire. See, understand, please, how important the desire is. How important the consciousness is. So important. The desire is the consciousness, the mentality, the power, everything. So important. Hare Krishna. One time when Srila Prabhupada, that was a big thing. He was in the temple and it was about to fall and the Prabhupada kept his hand like this. It was like, old person. Still he kept his hand like this for a moment or two, and then his devotees immediately came and then hold that. They're so active, even though the body is giving so many issues. The consciousness is so connected. Because through consciousness only one will get happiness. I told right, spiritual master, even he had so much fever, still he was giving the class. Why? Because they're free from this bodily conception. The consciousness is so elevated, empowered. See through the life of Srila Prabhupada, see through the life of all the exalted Vaishnava Acharyas, they're not dejected. Why? Because their absorption is completely deep with the Lord. Always, always, always. So the love which we show to the Lord is reciprocating on how do I know? If you are following the words of Guru Sadhu Shastra, you see the reciprocation for sure. There is no doubt about it. Might not see the Lord physically, but if you are very sincere to the core of the heart, following everything what been told, why not? Through that mercy, through His mercy, not that we are following something. Through their mercy, we'll be able to see. That means what are we doing? We are not imposing that, oh my dear Lord, show me. I want to see you right away. No, that's not love. What is love? My dear Lord, Ashlishava Padaratampinas, you want to embrace me? You want to throw me off? I'm ready to accept every situation, my dear Lord, because you are my master continuously. But that state is a state of all Lord's intimate devotees. That's the heart of Srimati Radharani and her followers. The followers of Rupanugas, Rupa Goswami, that's their heart. My dear Father, you want to accept me, you want to reject me? Thank you. I will accept that. Very important. This we need to understand. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to ask anything? But Dharamatan, is that okay for your question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. Thank you. Yes, Prabhuji. I I think it was all. It's because you're saying that we are still in the bodily conception. Because, like, I may not think I am in this bodily conception, but Maya is so powerful, like that. I am in this bodily conception. So until we come out of it, um, you know, there's no way for the Lord to manifest Himself. That's
The
what I was.
manifest,
Mhm.
the manifestation of the Lord will manifest out of His love, out of His mercy, out of His free will. Because just like we have independence, Lord also has. We have limited independence, He has unlimited. But when His pure devotees pray for us, pray on behalf of us to the Lord, then the Lord will manifest. Actually, Prabhupada told, if you just to follow whatever I say sincerely to the core of the heart, in this very lifetime you'll go back home back to Godhead. He told actually. But for that purpose, we should be very sincere and serious. in practicing the science. We should check where this bodily conception is coming. Where am I afflicted? How this bodily conception is affecting my consciousness. Consciousness is always affected through this bodily conception. We are not Prabhu, we are not Mataji. They are Dasa, Dasa, Dasana, Dasa. That is our position. One shouldn't be bogged down that, oh, I'm a Mataji. One shouldn't be puffed up, oh, I'm a Prabhu. No. For both of them, there is an equal opportunity to elevate the consciousness. All it requires is little sincerity in the heart. That the love which we are trying to love the Lord, that comes through hearing. Just like Rukmini Amma, she developed intense devotion towards the Lord. She says, oh, I cannot leave. I cannot leave. I cannot stay in this body. If you don't come, I will leave. Why? What's the point of having this life if I don't see you? There is no presence of you. If I cannot remember you, if I cannot think about what is the use of this life? That is an intense separation. But that comes when we take more deep, when we follow every principle. Up until that point of time, we should aspire for the goals, but we should, from our side, if you are putting an effort to come out of it slowly, then we will come. All the best, because the bodily conception is not that easy to come out. Because if you actually see technically every life, we are in that state only. Not that this life devotee, since we are born, we're discussing the child example, right? Since we are born, we've been connected to this bodily conception. We don't see Paramatma right away when we are born, because we'll see the body and its consciousness and its consciousness through that body. Because when we see that, we think about that only. Taruni Stavara, Taruni Sakta. In the young age, the blood is very, going fast. We'll see the opposite gender. And they'll remember only that only. They don't remember anything else. And then slowly they get settled, they get married, and then they are in a mode to earn money. Then they begin earning money for years, 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 years. And then they send the children to the school, spending lots of money, this, that, so many other things. Then after that, children are married. Again, telling the same thing. Oh, you should take care of him like this, you should be like this. Again, the same bodily conception is coming. Because that is what we heard, that is what we are aspiring, that is what we are giving. But we don't aspire to be free from this conception. That's why only acharyas, they reveal us the truth. Only they will reveal us. Because if their presence is not there in our life, then what do we think about? Do we ever get a thought that, oh, why I'm not seeing the soul? Do we ever get that consciousness? Brahmabhuta prasannatmana sochati na kankshati. Do we ever aspire for that state? No, because we are happy doing our things in this world. That's why we should slowly, slowly aspire for this. Nobody will tell this. No one will tell us. Only a person who really wants us to come out of this, they will only tell us. That's how we take the association of the acharyas. That's how we take the association of the spiritual masters, because only they will tell us how to come out of it. Because they aspire for that, they are out of it. They are asking us also to come out. Because when we come out of it, it's It's a very beautiful manifestation because when we see a Mataji or when we see a Prabhu, they're not a source for enjoyment, they're a source for service. I remember last year I was writing a letter to my spiritual master. I wrote this early in the morning when I saw a Mataji on the street. I wrote that, oh dear spiritual master, as I'm seeing this Mataji early in the morning on the street, I have two options. Either to see her or see that there is a service through her. Can I help her in Krishna consciousness? Or can I use her to gratify my senses? The two things can be done. If I try to gratify by my vision, if I try to gratify, then what is happening? I've been kept in the external energy, which there is no happiness in that. Only few moments. But if I try to work by praying, by working, by serving her, seeing her as part and parcel of the Lord, seeing her that she's kept in that Mataji body because she was in a Prabhu, she was Prabhu in the previous life. And then she was so attached to that, she was so attached to the bodily conception. Then that Prabhu was always remembering that body of that Mataji and then give out that body. That's a problem. That means what is happening? The bodily conception is keeping us in the evolution stage. Next life to the next life to the next life to the next life. Continuously. But that is the independence, that is the choice which I have. And then I wrote, this is a way we're able to see both the material energy and the internal energy simultaneously through that Mataji. That's true. Is that not true? Is it false? It is true. That means she is an object only. But that object gave me another realization that this is not the source for enjoyment, rather this is a source for service. Source for enjoyment becomes material. Source for service becomes spiritual. Just like Vyasadeva was seeing both material nature and the internal energy, both the material nature and the Lord simultaneously. The Lord's internal energy. How? This is how I was saying. By the mercy of the Narada Muni. So, by the mercy of the Acharyas, we can also see that. We can also do that. We can also aspire for that. For that, what we need to do? We need to leave this bodily conception. Atyahara prayasasta prajalpa niyamagraha. No. No eating more. No sleeping more. When we eat more, what happens? The body becomes agitated. It wants enjoyment, enjoyment. If you are feeding this body more, it wants enjoyment. Service attitude will never manifest in the heart. And the service attitude is not manifesting in the heart. See, the devotee is that person, that Mataji, I might not have any relationship with her. But Mame Vamsa Jiyaloka, she has relationship with the Lord. Na? That means if I just seeing her with an incorrect consciousness, will Krishna be happy? Will my spiritual master be happy? Can I show my face to him? Can I show my face to Srila Prabhupada? Because the moment I open this, I'm seeing this, we're seeing this is Srila Prabhupada actually. Who said Srila Prabhupada left? He's here. Is he not there? His word, this word, he is here in this word. Just like Lord is present through his actions and activities, Acharyas are also present through his actions and activities because there is no difference between the Lord and the Acharyas. But quantitatively there might be difference, but qualitatively they're same because they have same qualities. The Lord might have unlimited, but by the mercy of the Lord, Acharyas will also get those qualities. That means Acharya's words are Acharya's only. That means can I see them? Can we see them? We cannot see them. Is this not love? This is actually love. This is actually real love, real devotion. Aspiring for that state. Begging, please, my dear Lord, nothing here. You help me, my fallen soul. Please help. You give consciousness. You give that Shakti. You give that energy. Spiritual master, please give. That is why we go and beg in the Mangalarti. Please, my dear Lord, please give right consciousness. Dear spiritual master, please empower. We need. Without this mercy, how can we do this? How can we come out of this bodily conception? Is it easy to hear about it? Every life we are in the bodily conception. And then after coming in the association of the devotees, we have to come out of it. Is it easy? Is it that easy? No, it's not easy. That's why we should depend. Why? Why it is not easy? Why the material nature is very powerful? This is the reason. Because she is asking us to submit. Karo, Karo, take this to the core of the heart. She is also, actually, when we really have the strong desire, she will also help us. She might give some test, but she'll also later help us. Just like she helped Jada. Didn't she help Jada? When Jada was about to be killed by Kalika Upasakas, the worshippers of Mother Kali. And there were Mother Kali's followers only were trying to kill Jada. Then she was very furious and then she killed her own followers. Just see, to protect a pure devotee. So what is she doing? Is she putting a test there or is he protecting the Vaishnava? Is he protecting the Vaishnava? How that Vaishnava? Pure, pure. When a Vaishnava comes to that state, there is no two things in his life. It's only one. Is this not mercy, dear devotees? This is mercy. Acharya's mercy. Acharya's mercy. Hare Krishna. This bodily conception is a brutal, dear sir, brutal actually. Ruthless actually. It will completely usurp our consciousness, telling us that no, 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 you have to enjoy, you have to gratify. It will always tell. These are all the tests. That's why I told, right? Butter, fire, always be separated. Should never come close. We should never think that, oh, even if butter is close, still I'm because I'm hearing every day, still I can control. No, 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 no. Don't do that kind of tests. Just try to be far away. That is right conscious. Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to depend. Very important. Very, 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 very important. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Is that okay, dear devotees? Sorry if I spoke anything wrong, caused an inconvenience to any one of you. It's not my intention. Anyone like to add? Aramataji, is that okay for you to
Yes,
understand?
yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much for
I
explaining.
know they're little deeper, but I think it is good to hear.
Yeah, actually, my question was more, I was thinking, I'm not there yet. I'm a neophyte devotee, but one who's been practicing for years sincerely. My question was more like, if the longing and love for the Lord is so sincere, and one has been remembering the Lord all this time, then if the
Mhm.
Lord would come and take them with, allow, if the Lord can come and take them and with him to his
Definitely,
abode.
definitely,
But you answered
definitely
the
he'll take.
question yesterday and today as well. Like through what you're saying, I understood.
Definitely he'll take. He's our father, na? Amma, is he not our father? He's our father. He's our well-wisher. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Pranadana. Is everything for us. This Acharya will tell us. Now see, he is everything for you. Because when we see that person, his life is everything for him. Is that all? Then we also aspire for that. That's how the Guru Parampara connection is established. Why Krishna? Do you know, actually, Krishna has more desire for us to come to his abode, but more than us. He has there's more intensity. He feels more, yes, I should bring this soul. Because he's also feeling so much pain when we are in the hellish planets or when we are suffering in this material world. Don't you think that the father will be displeased that the child is not following? Yes, the father will be not just displeased, the father will be sad actually. The Lord is actually waiting. When will all my sons, all my daughters will come to me? Actually waiting. And we see through the life of the acharyas, this is what they are aspiring. The life is that. Yes, if you are becoming sincere, if you are not trying to find faults with anyone, if you are just practicing what we are supposed to practice, if you are just doing what we are supposed to, yes, definitely. Why? For that way, I don't have to open up a big temple to please the Lord. Simply by staying where I am, just by following the words of the Acharyas and be grounded, you will be taken back home, back to Godhead. For sure. We don't have to do. There's a notion. If you do big things only, Lord will take. Why? Didn't Lord give mercy to squirrel? Did she do big things? The love and intensity, that is important. Very important. Big things, if big things have to be done, then Lord will empower. Big things will also happen. His mercy. But from our side, what we should be very sincere. And then we should continue. We should say, Amma, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell all of you one thing. There is nothing greater than what we are learning today. Nothing. There is nothing greater other than Krishna consciousness. And this thing is only available now by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. This thing is only available now. It's never available after this. It's not available in the next Kali Yuga. It's not available in Satya Yuga. This process is only available now through loving devotional service in relationship. Because entire Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you see, it's all pure loving relationships. They don't see the Lord, but they aspire to see the Lord. But their love and intention, their intensity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is crying, where is my Lord? Where is my Lord? People are started telling, oh, you are Hari. No, Hari, I'm not Hari. Who said I'm Hari? I'm finding Hari. He's mad. He's hitting his head to the wall. What is this? This is devotion. This is intense separation. That stage will also come. When? When we become sincere. See, intense separation. Where is Allah? Where is Allah? Where is Allah? Where is Allah? Intense. That's why we should always check. We should always try to aspire more in our heart. There is never an end to Shavana. So beautiful process. It always rejuvenates. There's never an end to the kirtana of the Lord, to chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There's never an end. If a sadhaka is chanting, if the sadhaka is free from these anarthas, he'll chant more intense. If the sadhaka is free from all those intensity, he'll get the shuddhana. And then through the shuddhana will get that separation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada, all these pure souls, they are actually in relation. By their mercy, they'll give. There's so much they are devoted actually. Do we just leave this body without experiencing all of these things? Hare Krishna. Should experience. Hare Krishna. Let's stop here.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to add? Otherwise, we'll start the session. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to share or add anything? Hare Krishna. Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada, sorry, Prabhu. Beautiful message, Prabhu, as Mataji was also mentioning. The bodily concept, body versus soul, always, always have to check. Always have to check. Once we experience the higher taste that on one level up, then like self experience, Prabhuji, we can easily differentiate. It comes to the thought always whether when we have to check, basically always have to check whether the actions that we do, if they are not smooth, then then at that point have to check whether we are thinking in a of course, whether it's coming through the false ego or really for the wellness or good wishing good for the dependents or so forth. That's one. And then slowly whether we are thinking in a bodily nature or actually really for the goodness of the dependents. So that it's all interconnected, right, Prabhuji? That false ego, if it is false ego, then obviously it's in the bodily platform. No,
Also, means we want to enjoy
enjoy, yeah.
the
Which means
nature.
the dominating nature. Though the intention is good, um, but Prabhu, if we don't instruct in a sometimes in a though we don't want, but in a harsh way, they take advantage out of familiarity or so forth. Advantage in the sense the work wouldn't be done at that time, and I think in a way, if I don't instruct now, then how would it be coming in? How would it manifest at
Depends.
later?
The relation we should tell. Why we should not tell? We have a relation, we should tell.
Hmm.
We're not telling in a harsh way, we should tell in a softer way. We should tell, they should also understand, they should also realize. They're hearing every day. Then what happens? The consciousness is changed. Because we're thinking about this. For example, if I'm continuously thinking about, how do I earn money, how do I make this, make that, then I'm in that. I'm actually working on that. Just like Brahmaji was always continuously thinking, how do I do this creation? He's actually doing that creation, which is in mode of passion. He's actually doing that creation. That means to create that, he has to be in that state.
Mm.
Otherwise, that cannot be done. So for help, we should tell them, this is not right, this is right. That's our responsibility. We cannot just say that, whatever he does, that's okay. No, we should tell. We should tell, but in a way which is pleasing. We should understand that person. We should know that person's nature, and then knowing that person's nature, whether he'll accept this or not. Through that acceptance, if he's not accepting, we should extend that relationship that deep and then give that. If the person is not, if the person is not in that particular state, we have to extend our relationship. Then we need to speak. If you see Srila Prabhupada, he did not give any services when the hippies were coming to his classes. He was doing everything. Now one person started asking, Swamiji, can I come and help? Then he said, okay, this is what I was expecting. Then he started telling you do this, you do that. Because that is through relationship. But up until that point of time, what was he doing? He was waiting, he was waiting, he was waiting. So we should extend ourselves. Should extend our heart, our relationship, we should love them. If at all we want to, benefit the other person, we should extend in that way. Hare Krishna. Making sense, Amma?
Yes, Prabhuji, definitely.
That's so through that you'll develop another quality called tolerance. Because of
Patience,
love, you'll
tolerance.
develop that quality.
Yes, Prabhuji.
But what are you doing? You're tolerating for to please a spiritual master. This is how the relationship is established. You're tolerating to please the Acharya. A few days back, Mataji was telling, "Oh Prabhu, this is this, this is this." Then I said, "Thank you for telling this.
Hmm.
If I accept this positively, my spiritual master will be happy. I'll accept this." We should be in that state always. It's important. That's how you remember them always. Why Shiva Prabhupada was always with his spiritual master? Because he was always remembering him. Why spiritual master are always happy, relishing the signs of Krishna consciousness? Because they're always with them. They do not have any other business. That is what we need to aspire. This is an important science actually. We just don't give importance to the process of sadhana that deep. That's the reason of all the problems. We don't try to extend that relationship. We don't try to take that. But when we begin taking it, then we will experience. Should aspire for that. That's why we should hear sincerely. Rukmini Amma was not seeing Krishna, but she experienced him. Krishna, Arjuna did not experience until Krishna gave him that special vision to see that universal form. It's an experience. That means the Lord has to give that experience to us. But if a person is not aspiring for that, then the Lord will not give that experience. If the person is running behind so-called sense gratification of this world, the Lord will not respond, because He said, "You have time, you have time, you have time." Just like we have to cultivate that quality, the Lord always has that patience. He will wait unlimited lives. Because He is the epitome of that quality, right? He has unlimited patience. He will wait again and again and again and again. That's why spiritual master will come again and again. Why? To help the sadhaka, to correct that mentality. They'll come again and again. We should not allow for them to come again and again. We should correct in this life and then finish the business and then go back to God. Very important. Hare Krishna. I think I'll stop here. This is going. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dear Om Srilas Prabhu, please take out the call.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Prabhupada and Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for your wonderful class every day. Actually, I'm in front of a temple in Salt Lake City. I came here for 4:30 a.m., but they didn't open the temple yet. I think they open only at 7. But thanks to your class, I was able to listen. Here it's 1 hour behind Central Time. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. And today is the disappearance day of Jiva Goswami and Jagadish Pandit, associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's sing a bhajan written by